That was her house, no?
Yes.
She says she had a happy childhood. It was a simple life.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
When she took me to one of her favorite restaurants, she talked about her mother and what she learned from watching her.
That was your first acting lesson, watching your mother in her own beauty salon, observing, seeing people talk about their lives.
Yeah. It was more interesting for me to pay attention to what they were not saying, you know, to what they wanted to hide from the other clients or from my mother. And they were acting, most of them. And that's why I always say that beauty salon, that her salon was like a first acting school.
But as a kid, Penelope had no ambition to be an actress. She wanted to be a dancer and studied classical ballet for over 10 years. She still has a passion for it, as we discovered when we visited a New York City ballet rehearsal.
Want to try it?
No, I wish I could do that. Oh, my God.
There's probably no performing art that requires more physical discipline.
Nothing harder than that, I think.
Did dance help you in acting?
A lot. If I hadn't had the discipline of all those years in the dance world, it would have been much, much tougher. I mean, it goes too far sometimes. I mean, I used to take my toenails. They would die from dancing, so I would just take the whole toenail and throw it away and not feel anything. But I loved it.
She loved it until she was 14. Then she saw a movie called Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down by up-and-coming Spanish director Pedro Almodovar.
I've never felt so inspired, and this is what I want to do. And that week I looked for an agent, and I did an audition, and she sent me home and she said, "You are too young, come back next year." But I came back the week after. And she sent me away again, and then I came back the week after.
What does this story tell you about you?
Stubborn.
At 16, Cruz landed her first movie role in a Spanish film called Jamón Jamón, playing a voluptuous teenage seductress opposite Javier Bardem. She became an overnight sensation, as much for her nude scenes as for her talent, which made her very uncomfortable.
Were you concerned about how you'll be perceived?
I just knew I had to do the complete opposite.
Her next movie was called Belle Époque. It won a foreign language Oscar.
In Belle Époque, I was playing a girl that was younger than myself, much younger and innocent, much more innocent than I was then.
Cruz's ability to play both innocence and sensuality caught Hollywood's attention. In the 90s, she moved to Los Angeles, where she was cast over the next 7 years in a string of big-budget but lackluster American films with top directors and big-name actors, including All the Pretty Horses with Matt Damon, Captain Corelli's Mandolin with Nicolas Cage, and Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. They had a well-publicized 3-year relationship.
Tell me about him, what he meant to you at that time.
I don't feel comfortable talking about that. All I could tell you is that he's a very, very good person whose only intention, I think, is really to help others, and I think he's been treated in a way that, you know, sometimes has been a little bit unfair.
In what way?
You know, I really don't want to get into it with more detail, but...
But she has no problem talking about her great friendship and professional relationship with director Pedro Almodovar. They have known each other for almost 20 years and have made 4 critically acclaimed movies together, including the recently released Broken Embraces. Vanity Fair celebrated their collaboration by asking them to pose for the magazine's upcoming Hollywood issue. He says she's his muse. She says he's her mentor.
It's true that we love each other.
And how did that happen?
It started many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and we've gone through so much together.
Both agree Almodovar relaunched Cruz's career, which had stalled out in Hollywood, when he gave her the lead in the Spanish film Volver in 2006.
It opened a lot of new doors.
It also showed you what you could do.
It's emotionally and in every way more demanding than most of the characters that I played before that point.
Though the movie was in Spanish, her earthy, expressive performance proved to American critics that Cruz had the range and the talent, no matter what the language, to win an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. It was a vindication for Cruz, who has struggled for years to be more than just a beautiful girl. However, her sensuality is an essential part of her appeal.
It's always there. Other actresses have had it. Sophia Loren had it. Tell me about the sexuality. It's in your DNA.
I never felt, oh, I think I look good, or I've always tend to be more on the insecure side, and I thought that has always been a way to protect myself, because I don't trust the good feelings that can come from that.
The good feelings to come from knowing you're beautiful and sexy and stuff. You don't trust it.
No. And
you know it's there, you know it, you feel it, you know how men react to you. But
no, that I didn't say that I know it's there.
You do know it's there.
No,
yes, you do.
I think
you know it's there.
At moments it can be there, or I can give that to a character if it's needed. Then I can be more free to explore that in me and put it there. But what I think I have is a physique that can change a lot.
You know that you cannot depend on that for a lifetime.
No, nobody. So I never allowed myself to really enjoy that, which is maybe a bad thing. I don't know.
After making over 40 movies, Cruz has decided to take more time for herself. She's been in a relationship with Javier Bardem for 2 years. He co-starred with her in that first film and then in Vicky Cristina Barcelona. While she won't talk about the relationship, she will tell us that she wants more from her life than making movies.
You want to make less movies now?
There was a point where I was making 4 movies a year. I was always on a set. I had no stories to tell. I was feeling empty. My life was just luggage and hotels and from set to set, from character to character. And one day I said, and where is mine? You know, and the moment I started to feel that fear, I stopped and I slowed down.
And you like the rhythm you're in now?
Yes, because I enjoy it more, but I feel very, very lucky that I can keep working.